It's a huge night for DeAndre Swift, not only on the ground where he topped 100 yards, but he had the huge short catch that turned into a long touchdown in this one, guys. Do you sell high here on Swift? This was his best game, but the volume has been great every week.
I buy high, actually, on DeAndre Swift, right? So the volume has been there. Like, I actually mentioned this. I mentioned this yesterday. I think I mentioned it on Sunday's show about just like DeAndre Swift is actually a trade target. He's not all that sexy. I didn't expect him to have as huge a game as he did last night. But look at this upcoming schedule: home to New Orleans, at the Ravens, at the Bengals, home to the Giants. Like, you feel really good about DeAndre Swift just because, to your point, Connor, the usage has been kind of ridiculous so far this year, and it's only going to get better. They're going to be in positive game script against all these teams. He has not been great. He averaged 3.3 yards per carry on the season. Last night, 7.7 yards per carry. My Commanders could not stop the run. They looked awful. Their defensive line just got dominated left and right. Weirdly, he played under 60% of the snaps, but like when you're breaking off long runs and big catches, you don't really need to do much. But I think DeAndre Swift is probably, when you think about this upcoming schedule, like he's probably like a top 15 with, he's a mid-tier RB2 with weekly RB1 potential. And I wonder if he's being valued as that, even with, somebody that has him on the roster. Somebody on the roster may think like, oh, I'm selling high. Right. DeAndre Swift has not been great this year. I'll sell high off this game. And I actually think, no, I think this game is closer to what he's going to do over the next month.
Yep. No, I agree with that. Also, I would try and trade for Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt after this game. I understand he didn't have a good game, had another fumble, but the Commanders gave 20 carries to their running backs, and Ja'Cory Crosskey-Merritt got 17 of them. And I think that is very encouraging going forward.
It is, although, it was a brutal loss, obviously. And so we'll see what happens. They play the Cowboys this week, 54.5 over-under. The game's in Dallas. So they're expecting a ton of fireworks between, two pretty good offenses and two bad defenses, as you see the schedule right there. They're at the Chiefs in Week 8, home to the Seahawks, home to the Lions, home to the Dolphins. So it's gets
the Dolphins game's in
Madrid.
Dolphins
good. Yeah.
It's in Madrid.
Sorry.
You head over there.
I
see
should.
Commanders.
I should. Yeah. I mean, they're the home team, but
some,
right, it's the Madrid game. You're correct.
Some tapas for
exactly.
Matty Espagnolo.
Listen. The idea of leaving the country is actually very appealing to me.
Okay.
I just don't know when I would come back. But yeah, the idea of just like going somewhere where I don't have to talk about anything would be great. Actually, I would enjoy that. I might let me look into that. I got to talk to the wife and kids.
Some pinchos for Matty.
Yeah, perhaps. But anyway, I think look. We had hoped coming out of the bye that we would see more from Luther Burden. We would see more from Colston Loveland, potentially see more from Kamanange. We didn't see any of that really last night, but it was a weird game in terms of it was raining and just bad conditions. Yeah. And they were running so effectively, they didn't need to do much.
Yep.
No. that's Ben Johnson's going to lean on that. We know that. That's why, Swift, the volume. It's hard to trade somebody like that in this landscape where you're losing people to injury, and there's just not a lot of true RB1s right now in terms of just volume.
But I'm just saying, I don't know. If you've had DeAndre Swift this whole time, he's been fine. He hasn't been amazing, and then he has this big game. And so if I had him, I think, ooh, I'm selling high because he kind of sucks. But there's a scenario where he's probably like, at least over the next month, a top 12 running back here. Tough game, box score-wise, from Rumadunze. But, gets a touchdown called back due to kind of a ticky-tack penalty. I think if that penalty doesn't get called, it's a different scenario. Not worried about Roma Dunze.
The other game in this one, a nice win for the Falcons. Falcons fans, you drink for free today.
McCaffrey, by the way. But my Commanders suck.
Yeah, Falcons Bills. How about Luke McCaffrey? Sure. Bijan Robinson and Drake London go nuclear in this game. Bijan had the massive long touchdown run where he broke the tackle of Cole Bishop and kind of scampered down the sideline there. We've seen greatness, Jay, from Bijan, but we haven't seen him break off those massive long runs like that.
No, coming into this season, he'd never had a longer than 40-yard rush in the NFL across his first 2 years. But he was magnificent last night, best game of his career. That's the best Falcons win in a long time.
Yeah, bird up. Falcons fans, our own Lawrence Jackson and everyone else, you guys drink for free. Congratulations. What a victory for you guys. A dominating performance. I mean, they looked awesome. Penix looked a lot better, obviously. It's Bijan, by the way. It's gone back and forth, but I believe it's Bijan.
Yeah, he's back to it.
I heard him say Bijan, so I don't know what.
But then he said, no, Bijan.
Yeah.
All right. We'll figure it out by the end of the season.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.